Hey, English 35 folks, I am going to go over this project 2 very quickly. I am sorry if the sound sounds kind of tinny. I'm in this room and someone took my headphones, and so I don't have my dedicated awesome headphones that make it sound very clean, so I apologize for that. This is project 2. I'll go over this as quickly as possible. And it's writing to design and instruct. So the learning outcomes for this project are to get an understanding of how visuals impact the meaning of a written document, the importance of visuals and clean design to support the narrative in instructions, ways to write effective ethical instructions, and how to choose a logical pattern for a set of instructions. So basically, you're going to be working with both design, which we have gone over in class, and instructions. And you're going to be implementing the elements of design into every other assignment that you do this entire quarter. So design is something that you're going to be really thinking about and internalizing and using in your work. The overview. A valuable writing skill you will often draw upon in workplace writing is to design documents that highlight valuable information and to instruct in a concise, complete, and informative manner. For this project deliverable, you will write 4 components. 1, an analysis of a poorly designed document. 2 is an analysis of a poorly written set of instructions. Number 3 is a set of instructions for one small procedure or web tool you use that incorporates clean, effective design, something like Facebook, Gmail, Weebly, which is a kind of fun / weird web page creation tool. But it's your choice. And 4, a cover memo that explains your choices in both design and the instructions. So, specifications. The audience for your design analysis, instructions analysis, and actual instructions are your choice, but it must be some kind of non-specialized audience. So an audience who isn't any kind of expert in design or the web tool that you choose to use. The audience for the actual memo is me, your instructor. The format. Use one document file for all 4 components of the project deliverable. Each component should start on a new page and have a clear heading. Use those elements of clean and effective design. So what that means is I don't want you to submit 4 different documents. One document of design design analysis, one for instructions analysis, and one for instructions and one for the memo. I want one document that contains all those things. And I want each portion to start on its own fresh, clean page. So if the design analysis is 1.5 pages, then I'm going to want you to have the instructions analysis on the beginning of the 3rd page. So just put a page break in there. The memo addressed to me should be first, followed by the design analysis, the instructions analysis, and the updated instructions. Single-space text with an additional line of white space between paragraphs. Use headings and wrap the text around any visuals that you may use. And you might not use visuals, that's okay. The length for this is about 4 pages or 1,500 words total. And the guidelines. So writing the 4 components of this project deliverable. When you write the design analysis, it should be about 1 page. This is one single-spaced page, and I can't say that enough. It is single-spaced. For this, I want you to use the elements of clean design shown in the lecture and in Chapter 5 of your book to analyze the poorly designed document you selected. Now, I'm going off script here, and if you chose something today that doesn't exactly work, if you want to choose a more horrible document, that's absolutely fine. You can choose something else. I want you to concentrate on one element at a time, like size or headings or white space or alignment, consistency, anything like that. And how or why that is a good or poor design choice. For each element, suggest ways the design can be made cleaner and more user-friendly. So a draft of that document is actually going to be due in class Monday. April 14th at the beginning of class, and I'd like you to bring a printed copy. We'll be working with it that day. The second component is writing the instructions analysis. one page. And keep in mind, for each of these analyses, you are not redoing the original document at all. All you are doing is you are looking at the specific elements and explaining how and why that element is handled in the document. The instructions analysis, like the design analysis, is going to be one page, single-spaced. I want you to use the checklist for writing instructions and the information in Chapter 10. And in the lectures, there's about a half-hour lecture just on writing instructions to analyze the poorly written instructions. Be sure to keep the audience in mind. You will need to figure out who the audience is, who's the actual audience, and how these instructions may or may not work for them. Concentrate on one element or aspect at a time, like audience or the structure of the instructions, the situation, intended use, safety issues, ethical considerations, conciseness, etc., and explain how and why that element is handled this way in this set of instructions. For each element or aspect, suggest ways the instructions can be made more appropriate for the audience and the situation. And a draft of this is going to be due in class next Wednesday, April 16th. Writing the actual instructions, where you're just going to write a set of instructions from scratch, that is also about one page. But instructions can be a little bit wonky and crazy because sometimes you need extra space, because sometimes you'll have some kind of bulleted list or numbered list. So it might be more than one page, and that's fine. I want you to select a web tool like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Gmail, Weebly, anything, I don't care. As long as I can access it fairly easily to see if your instructions work. So I need to be able to go in there and just see if your instructions for, whatever, signing up for Instagram work. I want you to select one small, and the smaller the better, I promise here, procedure. For example, logging in or setting up a new account, and write a set of instructions for it. Honestly, the smaller the better. Instructions can tend to get out of hand, so small. Be sure to use actionable verbs. Use the information from the lectures in Chapter 10 of your book to formulate these instructions, and keep those elements of clean, good design in mind. So you need to apply the elements of good design when you are writing these instructions. So use that white space and headings and bulleted lists. A draft of this is due in class Wednesday, April 16th. So you'll have the instructions analysis and the actual instructions, a draft of that due April 16th. And then writing the memo. I'm the audience for the memo. Use elements of good, clean design as you write this memo. It should be about one page. As your professor, I want to know the following. For the design analysis, why did you choose the elements you did, and what did you learn? This should be a good, solid, hefty paragraph, at least. Instructions analysis, why did you choose the elements, aspects you did, and what did you learn? Again, another hefty paragraph. And the instructions, who is your audience, what is your purpose, why did you choose this tool, what elements of design did you incorporate and why, and what difficulties did you discover? That should be a hefty paragraph. More often than not with this assignment, people tend to go over one page, but I want you to keep this memo to one page. Use headings. Quite honestly, each one of these things, design analysis, instructions analysis, and instructions, should be its own paragraph. And you should have some kind of purpose statement at the very beginning, stating what the memo is about. The final draft with all four components, the writing, the actual memo, the instructions, and the two analyses, are due by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, April 20th, to the Canvas Dropbox. If you have any questions about this assignment, please do not hesitate to send me an email and let me know. And I think that is pretty much it.